Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you version 4 of my NFL mock draft. This is the March edition. We're going to go through 3 rounds now. So let's just jump right in and see who I have the Carolina Panthers going with number 1. I think the Carolina Panthers have to go with Cam Newton number 1. When you play in a division with the likes of Josh Freeman, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, you need an outstanding player at the quarterback position, so Cam Newton makes the most sense right here for the Panthers. Re-signing champ Baylor was key, and John Fox already said that he believes in the defensive end position, so Nick Fairley, the outstanding player out of Auburn, makes the most sense for the Broncos at number 2. Improving the run defense is priority number 1 for the Buffalo Bills, so getting Marcel Darius at this spot helps these guys out and get back to dominate defense in Western New York. I still have AJ Green going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Whoever they bring in, whether it be a veteran quarterback or draft a rookie later on, you need a number 1 threat, and AJ Green provides that spark for the Bengals. Imagine a defensive secondary with Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie and Patrick Peterson. Teams won't be able to throw against the Arizona Cardinals. They can address other positions later, but you have to take the best prospect on the board at this spot. I still have the Quan Bowers going to the Cleveland Browns. They're revamping the entire defense, going to a 4-3. So getting the best defensive end on the board makes so much sense for the Browns, and they can address other areas later on in the draft. The 49ers had issues in their front 7 last year, and so getting Von Miller to go along with Patrick Willis and company is going to help that front 7 stop the run and get more pressure on the quarterback. No quarterback here. Robert Quinn will help the Tennessee Titans get more pressure on the QB, and if he teams up well with Derek Morgan, they could have a front 4 that could be ferocious. I still think Gabe Carimi is the best tackle in the draft, and the Cowboys getting a valuable player that can play guard and tackle, but I think he projects as a left tackle. Very physical guy, should help Romo stay healthy for 16 games. Let's be honest, whoever's going to play quarterback in Washington is going to need someone to throw to. Why not get a big, physical, and fast wide receiver, and Julio Jones should be a consistent threat for the Redskins. Moving to a 3-4 defense, you got to get 3-4 pieces, 3-4 type of players. Cameron Jordan will fit well in that defense and give Wade Phillips another toy to play with in that dominating defensive front. I think quiet has kept the biggest need for the Vikings will be offensive line, especially since Leslie Frazier wants to get more dominant in the run game, so getting Anthony Costanzo makes a lot of sense for the Vikings. The Detroit Lions get the second best cornerback in the draft in Prince Amukamara. You team him up with Alfonso Smith and Louis Delmas and Amari Spivey, and what was now a weakness is now a strength. I think outside linebacker is an overlooked need for the St. Louis Rams, and getting a guy like Akeem Ayers to team him up with an already budding star in James Laurinaitis makes that front 7 much more dominant. I like Ryan Mallett. I think he'll fit perfect in Miami. Get a guy with a shotgun arm. And yes, people want to point to his clutch performances, but I think this is a guy that tries to win. He trusts in his arm. And you need that type of confidence down there in South Florida. The Jaguars need someone that can erase mistakes in the passing game, and Rahim Moore, free safety out of UCLA, will provide that type of insurance for that secondary that was getting beat last season like a drum. Get Rahim Moore back there. He should help out with more interceptions on the back half of that defense. Getting Mark Ingram, the Patriots now allow other players to be more explosive in an offense. You get that bell cow back like Ingram, and teams no longer can just play the run on the way to the quarterback. They have to account for the running game. The Chargers struggled in a defensive front last year, and getting a solid guy like J.J. Watt that's a perfect 3-4 type of defensive end should help those linebackers have free reign to the quarterback, and stopping the run will be a must this year in San Diego. Adding Tyron Smith adds youth and athleticism to that offensive line for the New York Giants, and that's something that they sorely need, but getting a guy like Smith will help them out tremendously. Ryan Kerrigan spends so much time in the backfield, he should be a running back, and if you get that type of pressure with that front 4 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this defensive line could get back to its dominance. You got to give Matt Castle time in the pocket to find Dwayne Bowe, and I think Derek Sherrod will help that Chiefs offensive line out tremendously and give these guys more time to make more plays in the passing game. I don't think the Colts will draft a raw type of player in Nate Solder, so they go with their next biggest need, which is defensive tackle, and getting a super strong Stephen Paella will help fill the void in the middle of that defense and give outside rushers more chance to get to the quarterback. Getting physical in that secondary is something that the Eagles need. Getting a guy like Jimmy Smith would not only help out in the passing game, but he's also aggressive enough to come up and make that big hit in the running game, and he makes plays on the ball. Again, like I said before, reminds me a lot of Bobby Taylor. Saints need more aggressive style players on defense and people that want to get to the quarterback. No one exemplifies that statement more than Justin Houston out of Georgia. Should help out Greg Williams a lot in that defense. Getting Blaine Gabbert here allows the Seahawks the luxury of bringing him along slowly, and that's probably the best case scenario for Gabbert, where he doesn't have to come in and be the starter right away. This is a great place for him to land. I like this pick a lot. The Ravens have to get more youth and talented on that defensive line, and getting a guy like Muhammad Wilkerson should help these guys a lot, cause a lot of problems in the Mid-American Conference. A lot of disruption for this offensive lines. It reminds me a lot of Trevor Pryce. The Falcons need to get more explosive on offense, and adding a player like Jonathan Baldwin should help these guys out tremendously. Baldwin is a guy that can catch the football with his hands, has the size and body control to take some of that coverage away from Roddy White and allow him more times to get open one-on-one. The Patriots need a 5 technique, and I have them taking Adrian Claiborne, a guy who I think is a lot better than Cameron Haywood. Claiborne is a guy that is relentless getting to the quarterback and should help that Patriots defense out a lot. Jay Cutler is still getting sacked as we speak, so they need offensive line help in the worst way. Getting a guy like Nate Solder allows that type of athleticism from the tackle position to stay with those pass rushers that they will face in the NFC North. Phil Taylor feels a big need for the New York Jets. Getting a guy that size with that type of talent is key in the 3-4 defense. You're only good as your nose tackle. He's an outstanding player and should cause a lot of problems for opposing offenses. With Ike Taylor being a free agent, the Steelers need to go with the cornerback spot, and they may end up bringing Ike Taylor back. But why not get a guy like Brandon Harris that is the Steelers type of player, physical, that can blitz and can make plays on the football? Offense is only good as your offensive line, so you look at a guy like Mike Pouncey that can play guard and or center. So getting him to go with the Green Bay Packers allow Rodgers to stay upright in the pocket to find those deep targets down the field. Now here are my round 2 selections. You look at Buffalo getting Colin Kaepernick out of Nevada. This is a guy that you could bring along slowly. He doesn't have to come in and start right away. They can sit behind Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that's going to help that Bills offense out a lot. You also look at Cincinnati getting DeAndre McDaniel. They need safety help. This guy's a physical player, a big hitter, and should help that Bengals secondary out. Another pick you want to look at, Dallas getting that cornerback Aaron Williams. They need help in the secondary, and Aaron Williams can be that guy to help out that Cowboys defense. Now look at St. Louis getting Greg Little, a wide receiver I like a lot. This guy is big, physical, reminds me a lot of Andre Johnson. Yes, he can be brought along slowly, but they do have other wide receiver targets there. By I think getting Greg Little right there helps him out tremendously. You also look at Kansas City Chiefs getting Eldon Smith, an outside linebacker that will get pressure opposite side of Tamba Ali. You also have the Packers getting Dante Moak out of Nevada. The rich get richer. You add another playmaker like Moak, he should get more pressure opposite side of Casey Matthews. Now you look at round 3, I have the Carolina Panthers taking DJ Williams. They need more offensive pieces for the quarterback that they drafted in the first round, Cam Newton. DJ Williams is a guy that's a very underrated tight end, can make a lot of plays, a lot of catches. You look at New Orleans taking Ryan Williams, getting that bell cow running back. Ryan Williams reminds me a lot of Tiki Barber, a guy that is so fluid. He should help out that offense. And you also look at the New England Patriots with all these picks getting a lot of playmakers. This is going to be a great draft. This is very deep. You look at Kansas City getting Andy Dalton. You also look at San Diego taking Rob Hauser, an underrated tight end out of Florida Atlantic. And I think the Atlanta Falcons getting Kendall Hunter will prove to be a still very, very underrated player, my top running back in this draft. To check out more draft coverage, visit footballgameplan.com/draft and visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. Also check out the Football Game Plan radio show, which airs every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.